Sandy Shore here on the Smooth Jazz Cruise 2013 West Coast edition. You just got through observing Candy Dulfer's shoes, and here she is. Hi, Candy.
Hi, how are you?
You don't feel like you've just been oogled, do you?
No, a little bit. But I had other gentlemen ask to make pictures of my shoes, so I don't know if that's like a new thing.
You have the greatest shoes in the world, really. That's
Thank you. I shop everywhere to get them, so I'm glad people recognize them.
We're going to call these vibrant orange or Caltrans orange. In the state of California, we have the California workers that wear that color. You've seen them.
They glow in the dark, really. I've had gigs where I wore these shoes and the band could just follow me backstage because it was so dark they couldn't find. They would just follow the shoes. It's very handy.
I love it.
Safety thing.
Candy is the first girl to ever perform with Tower of Power. We saw it with our own eyes last night. I'm pretty sure you're the first girl.
I think so.
Let's just say that.
That's actually a great moniker. I've known Tower of Power for so many years. Actually, I had the audacity to ask them for my second album when I was only 20, to ask them to come. And I never thought they would ever show up and do something. And lo and behold, they came and they had this whole chart written out. I was crying when they were doing it. It was such an honor. You know, I thought they would just come in and play a few licks and, just improvise like they could. But Greg Adams had written this amazing arrangement. They played it one time straight, was good, and then they doubled it just to make it fatter, the sound. And that was it.
That's amazing. Well, Greg Adams he's an American icon, isn't he? An amazing arranger who started with Tower of Power, for sure. The show was incredible last night on board the Smooth Jazz Cruise. Everybody on board that plays an horn was up there. All of you, Huge Groove, Rick Braun, Richard Elliott, David Sanborn, and you, the only girl, made us very proud.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just had to get up there because everybody was going on. And at one point, it's like I told the guys, I said, because the horn section was, at one point they were like, yeah, okay, okay, so everybody's going to take a solo. This is our stage. And I said, you don't understand. We all want to be you.
Yeah.
That's what we really want to be. We want to be in Tower of Power's horn section because that's just the most, the highest level of horn section playing in the world.
It is, and it was so fun to watch. And I'll tell you, on this channel here that you're watching, this YouTube video, you'll be able to see the entire 11-minute piece. You might have to search it, and if you do, it'll be Smooth Jazz Cruise 2013 West Coast Edition and Tower of Power finale or something like that. So let's talk a little bit about some cool things going on with you. You've got a new single coming out, and you've got a radio show in the works.
Yes, I've been, actually the last year, I've been hosting a radio show, and now we might go on to doing a thing where I do a weekly, every day of the week radio show at night. Nice. I'm very excited about that, so I hope that's going to pan out. And I'm actually sort of trying to build a platform. I have a blog now, and it's called Candy's World. You can access this from my website, and what I'm trying to do is just bringing everything together that I like. I already did that with a radio show. I was just bringing all the great music that I know of together so that younger people or people that are not in the know can, have a taste of this kind of music. And that's the same what I want to do with the blog, but it goes further than that. So on the blog I do, of course, music. That's number one. The things that I do, my travels on this one. But it's also about fashion. It's about food. It's about great people that do great things. I'm always in awe of people who do charity work, who have great foundation that do amazing work. And I just want to plug people all day. Everything that I like, I want to bring it to other people because I've noticed also through the radio station that a lot of people would comment on it and say like, wow, through you I discovered this saxophone player, or I discovered this little store where they bake bread, artisan way, blah, blah, blah. And I've noticed that gives me so much joy. So that's something I want to expand. And I want to work a lot with other people. So not just my own career, I want to do collaboration. So the first collaboration I just did is with a DJ called Roog, a Dutch DJ who's very famous in Europe. And he's in that Ibiza scene,
Love it, yeah.
And we did a single together called What You Do When the Music Hits. And that's been a super success live. So we're going to make it a downloadable single in the next 5 weeks or so.
Great.
So you can also catch that on my blog. And that's actually what I want to do. I want to make Candy's World the world that I sort of go through. Because I've just designed a clothesline also. It's now coming out actually today as we speak.
Oh, congratulations.
And at one point I thought that wouldn't really all match and mix, but it does, because if you really believe in something and you feel it, then people will like it. So like a lot of ladies here that come to the shows, they go like, where can I buy the clothes? Where can I buy your album? So it's like a thing where everything just comes together.
It really does.
Yeah, and it's fun. And if there are really truly things that you do from the heart, not just from a money standpoint, this designing is really a lifelong dream of mine. then people feel that, and they don't think, oh, she's branching out just because she wants to make money. They feel that you're really trying to broaden your world.
Right.
And the blog's going great, so I feel I'm on the right track with that, and I just want to invite as many people as possible to come see it, because through me you might be encountering other types of music or young talent. You know,
I love it,
somebody like Taylor, who we just saw up here, was amazing, percussionist and drummer. I'm dying to get her little video. I was videoing her, and she's going to be on the blog because I just want to, share. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what DJs did. You know, when I started my career, we shared music, and that was our art form. So as an artist, you want to go beyond playing. You want to share. And honestly, everything you're describing is a lifestyle, isn't it? And it's all artistic.
It is. It's all creative. And I've noticed now, I don't know how it is in the US, but in Europe, most of the new musicians or new bands, you don't get them anymore from the radio. You have to read about them in magazines, fashion magazines, for instance, and they give this top 10, like the new people. And then I start listening to it, and it's all like totally non-coherent. It has nothing to do with the other. Something is great, other thing is just a novelty. I think that should be presented by people who know a little bit about music, who can really steer the people in the right direction. So that's really what I want to be, a vessel, for other people.
Yeah, radio doesn't have to be, on an FM signal anymore. No. Facebook is radio, magazines are radio, your blog is radio, really, delivering new things to the people. Now, tell us how we can find the blog.
It's www.blog.candydulfer.com, but if that's too hard for you, just go to my website, which is just candydulfer.com, and then you can find blog, and you click on that. And I'm posting virtually every day, only not now because we have crappy Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we do.
Sorry. Yeah, but I'm posting virtually every day, and it's like it has a theme. Like Monday is what I did in the weekend, gigs or performances. Tuesday is soul. I always tell a story about somebody I think is doing amazing work or something beautiful or a memory. Wednesday is fashion. Thursday is throwback, of course. Friday is music. I make a new playlist every week on Spotify, just stuff that I love where people can groove to.
You're full of energy, aren't you?
Yeah, I am, but I've noticed that this kind of stuff really gives me more energy.
It does, yeah.
So I really want to go on with that, and it makes me feel fulfilled, and I get a lot of great reactions on it, so hopefully I'm going the right way.
That's great. If you haven't cruised with Candy ever, you must take a smooth jazz cruise, because she does hang out. You do hang out, and she meets people, talks to people, signs things, and you're just kind of a everyday kind of gal when you're on there, dressed extremely well and smells amazing. But other than that, she's an everyday kind of gal.
Now, yeah, I mean, that's like easy. And I think the great thing about the cruise here is that there's something loose here that you have nowhere else in the world. If you do a festival, you can have the same spirit with the other musicians, but there's always this barrier between, when you go out in the hall, you really expose yourself. But here, you are, this whole boat is a concert hall. You're always amongst people, and they tell you exactly what they think, what they feel. And that feedback is so important for artists, because you don't get that always. And this is so much fun. I get to talk to people that I otherwise probably would never meet. And people say, I've been to your gigs for 10 times now. And I'm like, I would never know, because they're so polite. They stay in the back of the hall, so I would never see them during the show. And now I get the chance to talk to them and share those experiences. So for me, it's really very nice.
It's a great opportunity, and you get to meet a lot of artists like Candy. You can check out the schedule for the Smooth Jazz Cruise 2015. 14 is sold out already. And it's thesmoothjazzcruise.com, and you can follow Candy on her website, candydulfer.com. And one last question before we go. We've done a lot of these, the Candy and Sandy show, but we've never talked about Van Morrison, who is my number one artist of all time.
Oh, wow.
Tell us a little bit what it's like playing with Van.
Van is he's amazing. I think, I don't know if he hates me for saying this, but it's like the Frog and the Prince. You know what I mean? He's when you see him on stage, he becomes a poet. It's beautiful. He's off stage, he's just like this nice person, but on stage he has this transformation that every time I'm amazed to see. It's beautiful what he does. He's driven me to tears so many times on the stage, when you just listen. And that whole, I don't know, it's just special. I think that is one of my greatest accomplishments, to have been playing by him and satisfying him, because he's very critical, Once he doesn't like it, he goes or he cuts the solo off. I've seen him do that so many times. So if you... And the great thing is, what he doesn't like. He doesn't like repetition. He doesn't like uninspiredness, or how do you say it? He's all for, really being there, really in the moment. Yeah, soulful. And so when he gives you a thumbs up, that's
That's great. I call him a conduit of God. I really believe that. He's an amazing creative force, isn't he?
Well, I think when he's performing that vessel stuff we were talking about, he really does that, you know, just like something channels him. He's like not that guy from Ireland. He's just like something else. And yeah, I've done so many gigs with him that I really feel lucky, you know. I've seen about 20, 30 amazing gigs from him that were, and you see it in the audience, people just don't act normal. They don't go like, wow, that was nice. They go like, you know, it's really something else. So yeah.
I haven't seen him yet, but I'm going to. It's on the bucket list. I'm going to wait till you're playing with him.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm Sandy Shore. This is Candy Dulfer. And the nice thing is our hair is not blowing like crazy, as it does almost every cruise.
Spot on the boat. Yeah.
We did. And it's always good to hang out with you. We'll see you in January.
Yes.
Okay. And again, of course, in 2015. Yes. Get a cabin. TheSmoothJazzCruise.com. Sandy Shore for SmoothJazz.com. Thanks again.